What up, kings and queens? We just entered into a new month. It's September 1st, y'all. It's September 1st. It's September 1st, 2020, y'all. I know this year has been rough, with the pandemic and everything, and we're trying to, figure out how to get to the new normal. What is the new going to be looking like? I mean, we haven't exactly figured out a vaccine yet. We haven't, we still sending these babies, but we still sending these babies back to school, though, which is pissing me off. It's like, you sending these babies to school with no vaccine? Come on now. Anyways, I hope y'all had a wonderful day today. It's still warm outside. Fall hasn't kicked in yet, which I'm happy about because I'm not a cold weather person. Okay, I'm a warm weather type of chick. Okay, I'm a spring baby, so comes with the territory. But anyways, we are going to dive in today, and we are going to talk about this Armand Wiggins tea that I just got a hold of. I was just watching Armand Wiggins live, and he was talking about how Jaguar Wright, number one, was talking about how he's responsible for his beef with Mary J. Blige. And personally, I just think that I think she needs some help. I think baby girl is crying out for some serious help, and that's why I think YouTube is just not the place. YouTube, Instagram, that is not the place to truly vent about how you feel, because you're going to face a lot of judgment, a lot of criticism from outside forces. And these outside forces are not trained to deal with the array of the heaviness of the situation of what you're going through, because you already know folks are going to have their opinions. They're going to have their opinions, going to talk their shit, and that's why it's best to just go. It's best to go to a therapist. It really is. It's best to go to a therapist. I see a lot of these people that are going through a lot, and they're putting it all out on Instagram. They're putting it all out on Facebook Live as a catharsis almost. But they don't understand how damaging that is to their psyche. Jaguar Wright, we can see her unraveling right before our very eyes, from seeing that Armand, started a beef with her, Mary J. Blige, to her saying some things happened with Summer Walker when she was a child. And Summer was just like, you don't know me from a can of paint. So I don't know why you're coming on Instagram Live talking about something happened to me when you don't have all the facts. And she's like, well, I don't have all the facts and I don't know exactly what happened, but, as a person that was messed with as a child, I can tell. Just because you know the signs of what it looks like when someone's been messed with doesn't mean somebody's been messed with. You know what I mean? Well, the signs are there. I mean, okay, if the signs are there, that still doesn't give you the right to put our personal business out there. That's traumatizing too. For someone to sit on the internet in front of the entire world and basically blurt out something so traumatizing as being messed with as a child, that's not gonna help you. That's going to push you even further into depression, a manic psychosis. They just put you in a bad headspace. And Jaguar probably meant well, but spilling the tea on someone being messed with as a kid is wrong. Like, you don't go out there, you don't sit on your Instagram live and talk about how someone was messed with and like going about it like you're spilling tea. First of all, you don't talk about that, period. Okay, if you know the person's been messed with, like, you need to keep that to yourself. They told you that in confidence because they can trust you. Number two, like, why would you sit there and like act like it's tea? Like, that's not tea. That's not tea. That's, like I said, that can be really harmful to a person's psyche. And he also dropped some but what is tea is my girl Tasha K allegedly being broke because of this whole Cardi B lawsuit. Now, I think he might have gotten that information, but I personally don't believe it because he got this information from DJ Academics. And we all know um in the YouTube universe, the hip hop world, he's not exactly the most credible person. So you up here citing DJ Academics as, your source. Like, use some credibility with that one because that dude lies a lot. He's talking about how so you already know Tasha K is going to address this. You already know our girl Tasha K has probably seen Armand's live and is probably going to is probably either going to make a video or is going to go live about this. Like, I hope she goes live about this and gives us the full tea. Because apparently these cease and desist letters that Tasha's talking about she was wiping her ass with wasn't the end of it. Because we didn't hear any more after that. We did not hear any more of the Cardi B Tasha K beef after she said, "Oh, Cardi keeps sending me cease and desist letters, but I just keep wiping my ass with it." But I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. Like, I want to know what Armand's beef was with Tasha K. I know Tasha spoke about their beef, but I want to know what the real deal is. Like, one of his callers was like, "Why are you so hostile? Like, why are you so hostile towards Tasha K?" And he was like, "Well, she talked about my mama." I agree. Like, when you're dragging someone, mothers are off limits. Talking about childhood traumas off limits. Like, I had to click off his live once he was talking about like what Tasha K went through as a child. And said that it happened to her because her mama don't love her. Like, that right there, like that he should have stopped. Like, that should have never came out of his mouth. When he was talking about, "Oh, well, if that happened to her because her mama don't love her." Like, are you kidding me? And nobody in his chat was checking him for it. No one. Everybody was here for the nonsense. Every single person was here for the nonsense. They were like, "Oh yes, like we here for it." There were people like from Tasha who were her winos were like, "Oh, you owe Tasha." Yeah, he does owe Tasha. He owes her big time. He owes her big time. Like, what? Why would you let something that disgusting come out your mouth? It's like, I know she talked about your mama, but for you to go as low as to talk about the abuse and the trauma that she went through as a child, that's disgusting. That is a low blow. I meant Tasha shouldn't have talked about his mom, but to go as low as to talk about somebody's childhood trauma, okay, which is why I don't believe in leaving children with just anybody. I know it might ruffle what I'm about to say is gonna ruffle some feathers, but you can't leave your kid with every uncle that you have, with every auntie that you have. You can't. And in the Black community, we have a bad habit of leaving our children with every auntie and uncle and cousin that asks. And we can't do that. I know they're going to get in their feelings, but so what? That's your child. You should never have to choose between making another person happy and protecting your kid. Because something could happen to your child because you want to leave them with Uncle Joe or Uncle Maurice, who your daughter's been telling you has been, eyeing her at the family barbecue. Or Uncle Quentin, who likes to, talk about his young niece's behinds and how they're quote unquote filling out. But some of us think that stuff is funny. It's not funny. It's not. But we also have to stop this culture of not believing our children. No child will make that up. What is wrong with people? They would think that a child will make up being touched. What child even thinks about stuff like that? Children think about playing dolls, drawing, making books, playing hopscotch. I mean, nowadays they think about like what's the newest game console? What is it, like a PS? No, it's not the PS4, but like like Xbox Live or something like that. Yeah, I'm showing my age right now. I'm talking about a damn Xbox Live. Anyways, I think about like video games and stuff like that, being in video game tournaments on Twitch and all those other new things. They're not making up stuff about being touched. They're not. And for him to go in on her like that, okay, her selling, those, what are those teas? Those, what, Bella B tea, those, not the Bella B teas, but the, the Nutriburst teas. Okay, that was funny. That was cool. That was, that was okay, you know, but to go as far as to make fun of somebody's childhood trauma, I mean, I don't know if she came at his mama or not, because I know she did this show, I think with Storm Monroe, and when she was exposing Armand. But I don't think she brought up his mom though. I've never heard Tasha bring up anybody's mom. Like, she respects moms. I mean, I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong, if she's ever brought up his mom or not. I've just never heard it personally. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Tasha K was talking about Armand Wiggins' mama, so it justified him in dragging her the way that she did. No. But like I said, people were all up in the comment section, like all up in the live chat, like, yes, Armand, you did that, Armand. That was a drag, baby. That was a read. Like, at the end of the day, Armand Wiggins is a man. Like, why are we so willing to let men drag us like that? We wouldn't have, like, there's such a double standard when it comes to gay men and when it comes to straight men. Because straight black men in the community, we would never let them drag us like that. Ever. But you have the Funky Dinevas of the world, you have the Armand Wiggins of the world, who we would gladly let drag us. Because, oh, it's funny. It's cool. Sweetheart, at the end of the day, those are men. Have the same energy. Have the same damn energy. If you wouldn't let a straight cisgendered male drag you like that, do not let Armand Wiggins drag you like that. Do not let Funky Dineva drag you like that. Because I would never. Like, I don't think it's funny. You would think after the incident that happened in which a woman was beat up by a cisgendered gay black man because because someone in the shop was like, oh, look, she don't have enough money to pay, and he was just like, oh, look at her and look at you, and then commenced to dragging her, and then all the female stylists start dragging her, and then he jumps in and he starts throwing punches. And it's like, why is he not in jail? Why is this man not being prosecuted for putting hands on a woman? Now, I love the LGBTQIA community. Love them to death. But just because a man acts feminine does not take away from his masculinity. And that's the thing. That's the problem that we have. Is that some people do not look at feminine gay black men or feminine gay men, period, as men. They think because they wear, makeup and lashes and heels, that takes away from their femininity. I mean, it takes away from their masculinity. It doesn't. Under the glitter and the pretty contour, that's a man. I mean, I know he might not identify as a man. I know some people might not identify as the gender that they are born into, but we have to treat them as men, and the aspect of you cannot put your hands on a person that is biologically female. You can't. I mean, that's. And I know, like, the lines are becoming so blurred. It's like, well, people are like, well, what if Armand doesn't identify as a woman? I mean, if Armand doesn't identify as a man. And that's what they're looking at. They're like, well, he's over here twerking, now popping that busty, he might not identify as a man. I mean, I've never heard Armand say that he doesn't identify as a man. And that's where the lines are blurred. It's like, how do we treat a person that may or may not identify as a male if they are biologically male? How do we treat them in situations where they're dragging women, specifically black women, if they are engaging in acts of violence against women? I mean, these were black women that stood by and filmed this poor woman getting beaten by the stylist, by a male cisgendered stylist. I don't know if he identifies as female or not. That never came out. But he may or may not identify as cisgender. So we're just gonna call him them. We're just gonna call him them or they. Okay. So they commenced to attacking her once she did not pay them. Okay. I think I got it right. I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to offend anybody by just assuming, okay, just because it hadn't came out and said, oh, I don't identify as a man, as the gender that I was born in, identify as she, or I don't identify as neither he, her, she. I identify as, non-binary. I go by they or them. So I'm just gonna call, I'm just gonna say they or them until I know. But not what I know of Armand Wiggins, like he identifies as a cisgendered gay man. I don't know. I don't really follow Armand Wiggins, so let me know. Okay, so he was just so anyways, he was like the fact that he felt so comfortable, and the fact that they felt so comfortable and beating up this woman, it's like it's beyond me. And it's like, should we give them a pass based on how they behave? Well, they or they slash him might behave feminine, so we're going to give they slash him a pass, because give them slash him a pass because because them slash him behaves in a feminine manner. So we're just going to, let that go because this person is walking around in heels and a fur coat and, was saying, oh, hey, sis, what's tea, boo? What's going on? Oh, baby girl, you look so cute. Oh, slay, girl, slay. Like, are we going to give those types, give them slash him a pass when he beats up a cisgendered woman? Because them slash him has effeminate qualities, so that in all intents and purposes makes them slash him a woman in a sense. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So does like that give Armand a pass because he behaves in a feminine manner? He's popping it, dropping it, and locking it. Like, do we give him a pass for the way he talks to women? So the VMAs. Let's talk about let's talk about my girl Megan Thee Stallion. Now people are saying that Megan's performance was boring, that it was a little lackluster than what we're used to seeing from our girl, from the hot girl coach. And it's like, sweetie, do you not know that the girl just got shot in both feet. Like, do y'all expect her to really be like giving y'all kicks and spins and turns and just flips and cartwheels? Because she used to do gymnastics. Okay. Our girl was a cheerleader, so she can't give you acrobatics. Okay. She can serve you Simone Biles if she wants to. Okay. But just not right now. But like, oh, all she was doing is twerking. I'm like, her feet haven't completely healed. They probably have healed to the point where she can stand, but not to the point where she's, pulling a pink during a performance and spinning upside down on ropes and whatnot. I'm just happy Meg won for best hip hop I was rooting for her to win Best Hip Hop because, in my opinion, like out of all the girls, like she's giving it. Like she's serving it. She's giving you bars. Like she's giving you freestyles. And people are like, oh, her flow is so old. Her flow is so vintage. And it's like, y'all, because some of y'all are just used to mumble rap. Like some of the people that are saying this are used to mumble rap. They're used to a bunch of inaudible sounds, inaudible noises, and none of it making any sense. Like the hip hop of today is nothing but a bunch of inaudible noise, inaudible sounds. It's like there's no actual lyrics. Where are the lyrics? The only ones that are bringing lyrics are the girls. The girls are giving you lyrics. Okay? The girls are giving you stuff that you can quote. When Meg said, hot girl summer, I ain't fucking with no drama. Yes, that's going to be a caption on these girls' Instagram posts for years to come. Okay? All of us going to say, hot girl summer, ain't no fucking with no drama. Like, come on now. Or when Meg said, you know your mama ain't bringing your daddy to the mall because you know he gonna be tricking. When my girl Meg said your mama is not going to be bringing your daddy to the mall because you know he gonna be tricking. You know he gonna be spending your college fund on Megan. She know he gonna be spending that house note on Megan. That money that's supposed to go into buying you a birthday present, that's going to Megan. That's going to Megan. Megan is taking your mortgage money. If your daddy shows up to the mall and Megan the Stallion is there, she's taking your mortgage money. She's taking your new car money. She's taking your child's tuition money. What is she taking? Oh, you're not gonna get your car fixed that week. That money's going to Megan. That money's going to Megan. Okay, all of it, every bit of it. Megan is cleaning out your daddy's bank account. Okay, Megan is my spirit animal. Megan is my spirit animal. It's like, girl, I'm going to college too. Like, shoot, I'm going to college on financial aid, honey. Teach me how to be a pimp like Tina Snow and get some money. I've been doing the honest way for way too long. I've been doing it the honest way, trying to get a job. I ain't out here trying to take your daddy's money. I ain't out here trying to take your grandpa's money. Megan, she's taking your grandpa's money. She probably tricking your fine grandpa out of his social security check. I ain't like my girl Megan. Your grandpa who's probably aging gracefully, like a lot of these grandpas on IG, on like straight up sugar daddy status. She's taking their retirement money. That money that was supposed to go to your birthday present that your grandpa was supposed to send you, Megan took it. Megan took it. You wonder where your graduation from Papa? Megan is spending your graduation present from Papa. So we're going to talk about, speaking of the VMAs, we're going to talk about Doja Cat. We're going to talk about Doja Cat. She's my problematic fave. I'm definitely with Kenya. If you ever seen As Told by Kenya, you need to watch it. She's my fave YouTuber. I love the girl to death. Her rants are legendary. Like I watch her like let me watch Kenya to get my YouTube skills up. Let me find out like how to do the lighting, where I need to sit, how I need to like move from one topic to the next. Like she's younger than me, but like I look up to her as to like how to structure my YouTube channel. How am I going to like how do I move through the YouTube universe? You know what I mean? She performed. Anyways, Doja Cat performed Like That, which is one of my favorite songs. If I'm limping, it's because I hurt my foot. So Doja performed Like That, and I think she should have brought out Gucci Man for the performance. I think she should have brought out Gucci. Should have brought Gucci Man, aka Roger Davis. This is what I use to oil my hair, and I know I showed this to you before, but this is the African Pride. This is what I use to moisturize my scalp and my hair. I want some carrot. Let me give me some carrot oil. For my edges, because my edges, like right here, that's why I don't like wearing certain styles. My edges right here, I think they're leaving me a little bit. So she performed Like That, and I thought it was good. Like she was giving choreography. Like Doja always gives choreography. She always gives you choreography. She's always serving you looks. Like the mermaid look she had going on, I thought it was cute. Like it was giving me very X-Men type of tease. But of course, that's her thing. Doja loves the whole like X-Men kind of like comic book world almost with her looks. Like it's not like the normal like pretty girl rapper. Like it's not like Megan the Stallion though. Megan she gives you different looks, but it's all very like I mean Megan too. Megan gives you a look. Megan can give you anime, and that's different. Like there's no girls that were out when I was younger that were doing anime. Like she gives you a sexy like anime look. Like I love my girl Megan when she has her choker on, like the different colors of eyeshadow, when she's giving you chains, very like emo girl. Like she reminds me of like the black emo girls when I was growing up. Like the black girls in like anime club that would like collect Pokemon cards and watch like Naruto. Okay, so let's talk about Chloe and Halle's performance. Let's talk about Chloe and Halle's performance. I really liked it. Like I love like the futuristic outfits. Like Chloe and Halle are always bringing something different. But the one thing that's going to harm these girls in their career, I think, because they're always going to be compared to Beyonce, because Beyonce's mentoring them, so they're always going to hear like no matter what they do, like even with their outfits for the VMAs, they're like, oh, they're trying to mimic Beyonce because the material is kind of like reminiscent of like Beyonce from like the '03 BET Awards. Like the skirt and the top that she wore during that performance, the material of the one pieces that they wore are kind of similar to that. And they're like, oh, they dance like Beyonce, they sing like Beyonce. I don't think they sing like Beyonce. Beyonce has like a more soulful tone to her voice. But her voice is very versatile, but at moments, like at the core of Beyonce's voice, it's a lot of soul. It's a lot of Aretha Franklin. It's a lot of, Patti LaBelle, a lot of Tina Turner. So Hallie's voice gives me Hallie's voice is very ethereal to me. Like I understand why they picked her to play Ariel. Because her voice screams Ariel. Like when I first heard her sing, I was like, oh my goodness, she sounds like the original Ariel from Little Mermaid. Like that's what she just gives me every single time I hear her voice. It's very like, oh my gosh, like under the sea ish type of vibes. And I have to agree with everyone when they said, "Oh, she should have been on the main like she should have been they should have been on the main stage. Like they should have been like their performance was amazing. They were giving you vocals, they were giving you visuals. Like you could definitely tell that they were trained by Beyonce. Like she probably but you can also tell that B gives but you can also tell that Beyonce gives them creative control. Like people are like saying that they sound exactly like Beyonce. No, they don't. To me, it's just a bunch of haters that wish they could be trained by Beyonce. It's like you wish you could be mentored by Beyonce. It's like you wish you had Beyonce writing you notes, telling you, "Okay, that's great, but you should sing it like this," or "That's awesome. Keep up the good work." Like if you hear Ungodly Hour, it sounds nothing like Beyonce's ever written. You hear Busy Boy, it's nothing like Beyonce's ever written. You hear what's that song? Where it's like, oh, Do It. Do It definitely is my favorite. And it sounds nothing like anything Beyonce has ever written. And the dance is cute. I love the Do It dance. It's like, how are you gonna come out with a whole entire music video during a pandemic? Like, that's talent. Oops, nip slip. Okay, so does it look like my edges are leaving me? Does it look like my edges are leaving me? Okay, so. Eh. So. Like I said, I totally agree with what everybody's saying about Chloe and Halle, how they should be on the main stage. It should. I mean, their performances are impeccable. They give you futuristic looks. Okay, and the way they style their locks, it's so beautiful. Like, I've never seen locks styled that way. Because normally, like, people typically think, oh, you can't really do much with locks. Or, like, girl, look, I'm going to show you everything you can do with these locks. Everything you can do with straight hair, we can do with these locks. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. Like, I think those are goddess locks that they have. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think those are goddess locks. And they look amazing in them. I absolutely love them. I love the locks. I love their makeup look too. I love their makeup, how the makeup look is so simplistic, but then the outfits are like phenomenal. They're just on another level. Those outfits that they have are on another level. Like, the makeup's not too overdone. Like a lot of these girls, they give you a beat. They give you an interesting beat. They give you contour. They give you lashes. But Chloe and Halle, they just give you like a natural face, but then some dope outfits. Like, we're not giving you much in the face department, but we're gonna give you some dope outfits. And so another performance that we're gonna talk about is The Weeknd. Like, I was just the Weeknd's weird, and I like it. Like, he's very weird and he's very dark and he's very mysterious. He's very much like his own artist. You know, he takes his art to like a whole another level. He's very creative, and a lot of the stuff I think he does, like, people don't understand it. But anyway, like, when he came out with a bruised face, I was like, what happened to your face? Never mind the acceptance speech, bruh. What happened to your face? Like, it looks like you got into a fight with Bella Hadid's new boyfriend right before you came on. I don't know. It's like I'm like, baby, what happened to your face? Is what I want to know. I couldn't concentrate on the acceptance speech or the performance because I was just like, what is going on with Abel's face? What is going on with The Weeknd's face? What in the world? It's like, we know The Weeknd is strange. No, The Weeknd's a little weird. But his face, like him coming out like that, was a little odd to me. It was very, very weird, and I'm just like, what is going on with The Weeknd's face? I'm just staring at it. Like, I'm like, I know it's not polite to stare, but I'm just like, what happened? Like, are we gonna get the tea about his face? In saying that he couldn't enjoy this moment. Why can't you enjoy this moment? Like, what happened? Like, was he at a protest and his face got messed up? Like, what happened? Was he at a Black Lives Matter rally and he was attacked by the police? I mean, what is going on? Like, his behavior has always been a little strange. But coming on stage at the VMAs with a bruised up face, that tops everything. The Weeknd coming on stage with a bruised up face tops everything, including his coked out love songs about being high and being in love. Like, that tops. Oh my goodness! I was like, what? I was like, you never know what happens at the VMAs, but The Weeknd getting beat up, you don't think that would ever happen. I'm thinking like some surprise performances. That's what I was looking for. Like, at the BET Awards, like back in the day, you got surprise performances. They would bring out special guests, like right in the middle of the performance, you see someone coming down, out of the ceiling, and they're like, I'm bringing out my girl Beyonce. Beyonce, like, I'm bringing out my girl Kelly. I'm bringing out my girl Michelle. And everybody going hype, like, oh my goodness, it's Destiny's Child is back. Like, I love how B brings out her. I don't think B brings out her girls for like Well, I love how she brings out her girls for a moment. Like, she gives us nostalgia. As much as we miss Destiny's Child, I know she missed Destiny's Child. And they broke up because of Matthew. Let's be real here. Destiny's Child broke up because of her daddy. We all know. Latavia came out and said they left the group because of Matthew. Latoya said she done left the group because of Matthew. Now, in the I was watching this documentary about Beyonce on YouTube called Fierce and Fabulous, and they were talking about Destiny's Child and how the group broke up. They had it right when they said it was basically Matthew's fault, because it was. But they said, well, Latoya and Latavia left the group because of money. No, they left the group because Matthew threw their mamas off the tour bus. That's the real tea. Okay? That's the real tea. Matthew Knowles threw Latoya and Latavia's mother off the tour bus. And they're like, you ain't throwing our mamas off the tour bus, basically. And because of Jagged Edge. Because allegedly, Latoya and Latavia were dating members from Jagged Edge. And that didn't sit too well with Matthew. Because I heard Joe Jackson, because I heard, no, why do I call that man Joe Jackson? I mean, he has some Joe Jackson-esque tendencies. I bet he used to beat Beyonce if she didn't, get the choreography right. Because the way Beyonce dances just gives me very, like, the belt would come out, the switch would come out, the extension cord would come out if I didn't hit these moves correctly. Like, as perfectly as she dances, it gives me very much Michael Jackson vibes. Because we also Jackson 5 an American Dream. If y'all didn't, y'all need to go watch it. Like, if they didn't hit them steps correctly, the belt came out, the switch came out, the extension cord came out, and finally, Catherine just had enough. And she's like, you ain't gonna beat my children no more. The first damn time they start beating your kids, you should have said something. Why you gonna wait till these boys is almost grown before you say, you ain't gonna beat my boys no more? You ain't gonna beat my boys. No. The first time you try to beat them kids for some bullshit is when you should have said, you ain't gonna beat my kids. That would never be me. Let my husband try to beat my children, especially on some bullshit. Oh, the police will have to come get me. The police will have to come get me. And that's on everything. Like, let my husband try to beat my kids, especially over some bullshit. Like some missed dance steps. You gonna make beat these babies because they done missed some dance steps. Are you serious? You gonna beat these kids like runaway slaves over some missed dance steps. Like, no, it's not happening. Like, I'm gonna beat you and see how you like it. I'm gonna shoot. I would have took the belt out of his hand and started beating him. I would have started beating Joe and see how he liked it. I would have started beating. If I was Catherine, I would have took that belt out of his hands and started beating him the way he beat those kids. It's like you waited till those boys were damn near grown before you said anything about him beating those kids. That man had been beating them children, abusing them children for half their lives. You sat there clutching like the youngest one at night while you helplessly listened to this man literally beat the skin off your child. I would have grabbed a gun. I would have grabbed a gun. The first time I knew that my husband was beating my children, especially the way Joe Jackson was beating his, I would have grabbed a gun. I would have killed him. I would have killed him. I would be filming these lives from prison. I would be filming these lives from prison. Like, I would find a way to get somebody to sneak a phone in, so I would be filming these lives from prison. I would. Like, you're gonna let that man, like, I know I'm ranting, I'm harping, but it's just, to me, it's, like, incredible. Like, was he beating Catherine too? Like, she just seemed like Catherine. Like, was he beating her too? Because he just gave me, like, Ike Turner vibes. Like, every family photo they show with Joe, he just gave me, like, slave and slave master vibes. Like, it didn't look like a normal family portrait. It looked like a portrait on a plantation. That's what it looked like. It looked like a portrait on a plantation. Like the way he looked, like he just gave me very much like evil plantation owner. And you can look into the eyes of his children and see nothing. Much like when you see like those pictures, you know how you were in school and in your textbooks you would learn about like the Civil War and slavery, and you see these pictures of slaves and like their eyes are empty. Them baby's eyes was empty. Like he just literally beat the joy out of them. I was like, how did you stay with somebody like that? I would have left. I would have left. Or locked the door. When he came home from I would have locked the damn door and would have let his ass in. I'm like, the hell you gonna beat my babies like that? And you gonna be let back in this house? Oh hell to the mother freaking no. Your ass is staying on the outside of that damn door. And I would be mad at her. Like I would be mad if I were them kids, I would have been mad at Catherine. I'm like, you let this nigga beat us like we're runaway slaves for over half of our lives. And now that we're almost gone, now you gonna say some shit. When he's about to if you saw like the scene where he was like where he went to the pool and he's snatching up all them towels, he's snatching up all the towels and he's yelling for the kids, and Catherine's like, you ain't gonna beat my children no more. Like you ain't gonna beat them boys no more. I'm like, so him about to beat your children over the fact that they left towels in the pool was the last straw? The last straw would have been when he beat them boys over a broken guitar string. Like, I get that's his property and all, but it's a broken guitar string. Like, you beat your kids like Kunta Kinte over a broken guitar string. Like I think Jermaine was the one that ran away. Was it Jermaine? Jermaine ran away at one point. But then his dumb ass gonna come back. How you gonna run away? How you gonna run away from the plantation and come back? How do you escape the damn plantation and come back? That boy escaped the damn Jackson plantation and came back. That is Stockholm Syndrome if I've ever heard of it. You finally escaped years of that man whooping your ass for everything. And I mean everything. And you can look at them, well, they're not children anymore, but you can look at them grown folks' eyes and tell that man straight up abused them. Like the shit people went through in like the 60s and the 70s, like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, hell, 80s and the 90s, that's straight up fucking child abuse. That's child abuse. Like the lines get real blurry for some reason. Like why, I don't fucking know. Like why do the lines get so damn blurry when it comes to like fucking child abuse? Like why? Okay, but okay, look, enough of us talking about how Joe Jackson used to kick off in them children's asses. Let's talk about Bill Bellamy and how this fool thinks there should be a first, how they should wait to do anything R&B related when it comes to the versus battle until R. Kelly gets out, or if he gets out. I hope he never gets out. I really do. Because in my opinion, he should have went to jail for what happened to Sparkle's daughter. And we don't know who Sparkle is. All my 90s babies know who Sparkle is. All my 80s babies know who Sparkle is. Okay? Sparkle was R. Kelly's protege. And basically, why everybody calls him the Pissy Pied Piper is because this man was caught peeing on this young girl on tape, set up the tape, and videotaped himself peeing on this young girl who happened to be the niece of his protege and the niece of one of his drummers. Like, imagine having to be on the stand watching that video of what happened to your child or what happened to your niece. Like, that has to be like the most horrific thing in the world. And then the victim, like her having to take the stand and lie and say that wasn't her in that video. And say, well, all me and my friends have a distinctive haircut, and that's not me. And then her friends had to testify to say that wasn't her either. That's why he was still roaming free for all these years. But I used to listen to a lot of R. Kelly's music as a child. But I just didn't understand what most of it was. Like, Move Your Body Like a Snake, I understood that what that was. It was just like a very like sensual type of song that spoke about, sex, sexuality, which is what a lot of people wrote about at that time. But the song Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, like, when I heard he wrote that for Aaliyah, it made sense. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics, age ain't nothing but a number, getting down ain't nothing but a thing. Like, who does that sound like to you? And when he wrote, oh, I don't see nothing wrong, those two songs that were kind of made me give him the side eye a little bit. That stupid ass song he wrote called Thoya Thoing or whatever. My 90s babies know that song. The song where he's like, Thoya Thoya. It was so stupid. It was like, then he had this whole like Japanese theme video to it too. So it was about a bunch of like Japanese girls and like kimonos and bathing suits, like red bathing suits. Really, like, to me, it felt really insulting to the Japanese community that he was sexualizing kimonos. Because he had these girls in kimonos with like red bathing suits underneath. And it just shows what like little education this man had, because he's like, oh, let me put these Asian girls in some kimonos, but make it sexy. Like, come on now. And the lyrics are stupid too. Like, I'm gonna play I want to find some way to play the lyrics for you so you can hear it. But I'm probably not gonna be able to play too much because YouTube be tripping about the whole copyright thing. Alright. And we're gonna talk about how he basically kicked Bow off his own song. That to me is hilarious. How are you gonna have a remix without the original artist? And that's what I've always wondered. Well, he did I'm a Flute remix, and he was like, it's the remix. I was waiting for Bow Wow to come in. I'm like, okay, this is Bow Wow's song. Where's Bow Wow? I was waiting for him to drop a couple of verses after Kels was just like, it's the remix, and then Bow just come in and start spitting a couple of bars or something, but it never happened. It never happened. Like, I'm waiting the whole entire song for Bow Wow to show up, and it never freaking happened. I'm like, dude, you hijacked Bow Wow's song. How is JD okay with this? How is JD and Bow Wow okay with this? Because I'm sure as hell wouldn't have been. I'm like, nigga, that's my song. And you just hijacked my shit? Okay, so story. So I think I'm gonna do like a live story time. I don't know. Would y'all be interested in something like that? Okay, so oh my goodness, you would not believe that happened to me on Friday. I met the finest guy. Like he was tall, he was light skinned, he was so cute. Had a bunch of face tattoos, but he was cute though. Like and really sweet and like he's really funny and he makes me laugh. Oh my goodness. And I don't know if there's any kids in the chat. So I'm gonna tell you the clean version of it. Okay. So I was in Springfield, Virginia. I was at the mall. I was coming from a job interview. I was looking for the bus stop, right? And I was just like, I see his car pull up. And I was like, do you know if the bus stops here in front of the mall? And he's like, I don't know. I'm not from around here. I'm like, I'm not from around here either. He's like, so, do you want to ride? And I was like, yeah, sure. You know, kids don't jump in the car with strangers. Even though my little stupid behind should have jumped in the car, even though I didn't even know this dude. Like I could have wound up dead somewhere in some bushes. Okay, but I don't know. He was cute, so I took a chance. And we started talking and we started laughing and like he was telling me like all of these things. Like he's from like okay, I'm not gonna name names, okay? But he collects Pokemon cards. I know that's kind of like it's nerdy, but it's cute, right? Like he's like 26. Well, I won't tell you his real age. Okay, I won't tell you his real age and I won't tell you his real name. Just in case he might watch my channel. But he's 26. Not really. His name's Kevin. Okay, well, for the sake of the story, we're going to call him Kevin. Okay, so he was telling me about like how he collects Pokemon cards and how I know. I thought it was cute. I don't know, like, well, I thought it was cute. I thought the fact that he collects Pokemon cards was really cute and sweet. I thought it was really cute, and I thought it was really sweet. And he was telling me about all the different Pokemon cards and stuff like that, and I was just looking into his eyes. I wasn't really paying attention to much of what he was saying because his eyes are so freaking pretty. They're like this really pretty shade of brown. And like he reminds me a lot of my ex. Like my ex was kind of like a nerd too. So and he was tall and he was like light skinned. So he kissed me. And we started so he was like looking so okay. I'm gonna go back a little bit. So he was looking like so we were driving out of the parking lot. I noticed that he turned left. I was like, why are you turning left? And he's like, well, I was looking for a space for us to hang out. Now, hang out, code for possibly make out, possibly, you know. So, possibly, hook up or whatever. But all we did was kiss. Like, we started talking, and all of a sudden, he leans in, right? And he kisses me. Oh my goodness. He's so freaking. Like, I swear, butterflies. Just, oh my goodness. Like, I don't have. Like, I knew that I needed to get this guy's number because I wanted to see him again. He was so cute. So, we exchanged, like, Instagram, profiles and stuff like that. And we started, like, talking or whatever. And he like making jokes about like having a baby together and moving in. Mind you, we've only known each other for like a total of 4 days now. And he's like, oh, maybe we're moving a little fast. I'm like, you're the one talking about moving in together. So what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, you're confusing me. He's like, how am I confusing you? I was like, you're talking about moving in together, you're talking about having a child together, and now you're saying, like, oh, we're moving too fast, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're confusing. So, anyways, let's move along to something more interesting than my weird dating life. Um, we didn't see Chris Brown performing at the. We didn't see Chris Brown performing at the VMAs. You know, as much as I don't really like a lot of his new stuff, the man knows how to give a performance. Or what? Or did he? Because I only caught like most of the VMAs. So did he? Did he or did he not perform this year? Because that would have been the highlight of the whole show. Because you know Chris going to give like a Michael Jackson level performance. You know there's going to be acrobatics. You know there's going to be a bunch of dancers. You know the lighting is going to be dope. Like even though we're in quarantine, he's going to find a way to give us a show. Omarion should have performed. He should have performed unbothered. Omarion should have been there with T-Pain to perform unbothered. Because I feel like that is like everybody's anthem. No matter what you're going through, you unbothered. That you have at the Henny. I don't know about you, but I love that song. That we love that. So speaking of babies, Usher and his new girlfriend, who he's apparently been dating since 2019, are expecting a baby, allegedly. So Chris is alleged. So Usher is allegedly. I was scrolling down the comment section and I see a post by Ice Cream Combos talking about how Usher is allegedly expecting a baby with his longtime girl, his girlfriend of a total of 2 years, Jen. And I was looking, I'm not gonna lie, I was scrolling down the comment section looking for the herpes jokes. I was looking for the herpes jokes. Because every time we get some Usher's news, y'all like to come through the shade room, Ice Cream Combos, boss up with them herpes jokes. So I'm gonna go back to the comment section because I was just me and my little semi-messy self. I wanted to see some herpes jokes. I want to see some new ones that y'all can come up with. Like I'm just wondering, like, when you have, does he really have herpes or is that alleged? Like, does he allegedly have herpes or is that like, or does he really have herpes? Because there are still women that are willing to date him. I wouldn't date a man that had herpes. I wouldn't date a man that had herpes. I wouldn't date a man that had the clap. I wouldn't date a man. I wouldn't date a man that had any venereal diseases. Like I'm just careful like that. To me, Cloud is. I mean, they must really be in love if sis is a chance, or like his viral load might be low or something, or his viral load might be low or something. I don't know. So is his viral load low or something? Reason why, you know, is the reason why these chicks are still willing to date him. As my boo Storm Rose said, he got the bum bumps. In the words of B2K, he got them bumps. Oh, my immature ass. I mean, guys, I'm just confused. Like, why are the girls still willing to mess with this man? Because after that, I would have been like, no, thank you. I mean, like, after how many dates do you tell somebody about that? After how many dates do you tell a person, yeah, baby, I got herpes. I got them bum bum. So it's like, after how many dates do you tell a woman, like, yeah, baby, I got something I gotta tell you, and I don't know how you're gonna take this, but I have herpes. I don't have them. Trust me and believe. Safe sex all day, every day. Okay. But how do you tell a woman that, like, it's like, how do you break it to her? Does Hallmark have a card for that? I wonder. Can you just buy her a Hallmark card that says, "Baby, I love you. You mean the world to me, but I have herpes." Like, how? Like, do you just write her a letter? I think it would be safer to, like, write her a letter or something, and just, like, explain to her why you have herpes and how you got it, and just what? What? Why does she act like she's? Why does she act like she has a damn heart attack? Anyways, like, how do you explain that to somebody? I don't think Hallmark has made a card for that yet. Usher should make a Hallmark card for people who have herpes. I wonder how much money he would make off of something like that. Anyways, let's talk about Toni Braxton saying that in her younger years, she wished that she would have had more sex. She would have just was thought. She's like, I wish, like, she didn't say it, but I'm just, like, paraphrasing it. She's like, she wished she would have been, like, out there thoughting and bopping. She wished she would have drank more, but the fact that she was a preacher's kid stopped her. And the fact that she had, like, a really religious upbringing. And she's like, she feels like she's too old for that now. Like, she's way too old to go through her hoe phase. She's like, I'm in my 50s. She's like, basically, I'm in my 50s now. I was like, honey, guys are still going through their hoe phase at 50. Guys are still going through their hoe phase at 60. There are 60-year-old male hoes. There's 70-year-old male hoes. There are 80-year-old male hoes. Like, what age for a woman does your hoe phase end? And then here comes little Duval's ass. Just like, baby, now's the perfect time to be a hoe. But don't mess with them young dudes because they gonna fuck up your legacy, girl. Stick with us old niggas. Because, them young niggas, they just gonna have you run through. Old niggas gonna have you run through too. Because some of them act like old niggas. Some of them act like young niggas. Some men at no point do they ever grow up. Like, some men, they just don't grow up. Ever. They act like children to the day they die. Like little Duval, who's 40 years old and still acts like he's in his 20s. I mean, you 40 years old with a damn song called Nasty. Jacquees, yeah, with his throwback vocals. Jacquees and his throwback vocals. Jacquees done brought back the ooh yay. He didn't brought back the ooh yeah. He didn't brought back the the old school ad libs. Like my 90s babies know what I'm talking about. Like them Casey and JoJo, them Jodeci, them like Jagged Edge, them New Edition ad libs. Personally, I don't think she should care what anybody thinks. Like, if you want to smash a cutie, go ahead. But make sure somebody that ain't gonna run their mouth. Make him sign a non-disclosure. Do what these do what these guys do and make these dudes sign a non-disclosure. Like, I don't feel like why do women have to feel guilty about taking control of our sexuality? Why do we have to feel like we're tainted or something just because we want to have sex? It's like men need to understand if women were not interested in sex, they wouldn't be having any. Like straight men need to understand if women weren't interested in having sex, y'all wouldn't be having any. Like the thing is, like a lot of y'all be in our faces, be like, "Baby, I think you're so sexy. Oh my goodness, girl, you look so good. Damn, shorty, you bad. You got a boyfriend? Where you going? What you up to? What you doing? Shorty, can I be your boyfriend? What you doing right now? You busy? Oh, can I come with you? Like, and all of that, like just are constantly talking about how you could satisfy a woman in bed. And then if she takes the bait, then she's in the wrong. Y'all just be like, "Oh, you gave up that wop too easy. Like you gave me that wop too easy. Like, oh, you don't have rules or something. Like what? Like you don't have you don't have like shorty. You ain't got standards. Like you just giving it up like that. And we could say the same thing to you. Like we could say the same. Oh, you don't have standards. Like damn, homie. Like you just gave up the dick that easy." Like I mean, you was on your safari talking about you got that BAD, that big ass dick, and like, but you just give it up so easy. But you just give it up so easy. Like you didn't even wait for it. And that's the thing. Is like men can smash anything in sight, anything that's willing or gives them consent, and have some and maintain some sort of virtue. But women, we don't get that. We don't get that same agency. We like if we so much as have over maybe four sexual partners, the world looks at us crazy. It's like why is it that a man can have multiple partners, but if we have more than one, okay, we have more than one partner. Oh, she's a thought. Oh, she's a hoe. Oh, she's a slut. Or back in my day, back when I was a kid, we called hoes bops. We called like a bop back when I was a kid. A bop wasn't a hit song. It was a girl. It was a girl who had way too many partners. Like a roller was a girl with way too many partners. Oh, you had sex with with so and so, or dudes feeling so comfortable being like, oh, you had sex with so and so, so why don't you have sex with me too? Or well, you let him hit. Just very immature. Just like, oh, well, you had sex with so and so and you let so and so hit, so why don't you let me hit too? And it's like, that is so fucking immature. Right, so I might do a video on like, or like a whole entire live stream on like the double standards that exist in society. Because I frankly am tired of them. I really am. I'm so tired of being judged as a woman for taking control of my own sexuality. And it's not just me, it's Megan the Stallion, it's the City Girls, it's Cardi B, it's Nicki Minaj. And it's like women have been talking and exploring our sexuality for like for 10 years now. For 10 years, and y'all want, and some men want to act as if it's something new. Okay, yes, we had like the Queen Latifahs of the world, and the Moni Loves, and we had the Erykah Badu's, and we had the Lauryn Hills. Okay, but they were also coexisting within hip hop with the Lil Kims and the Foxy Browns. It's okay for you to talk about, for men to talk about that WAP, what they want to do with that WAP, how good it is. Oh, I'm gonna buy her a Birkin bag and she gave me that WAP. Oh, I'm gonna trick off on her, buy a Gucci bag and she gave me that WAP. I'm I'm fly her out, give her a couple stacks and she give me that WAP. Yo, that should be a song. That should that should be a song. Yo, when they aspiring rappers out there, you need a ghostwriter, holler at your girl. And she need a bills paid, she gotta give me that WAP. Like that should be a song right there. Or telling the world what a girl would do for them, because they're rich and they're famous, like Lil Wayne's song "She Will," where he talks about she gonna do it for the realest fucking nigga in the game right now. Like, and saying that a woman, which speaks to the intelligence of a woman, as if to say, oh, as long as you got money, you can get anything you want from a woman. Let's move on. Let's talk about this whole Masika Kalisha and Hazel Lee situation, which is so old. Like, what are they fighting about again? I mean, is this still over Youngberg? Are they still fighting over? If these two are still fighting over Youngberg after both of them then had babies with other men, I swear I'm going to slap the both of them. If these chicks still out here in these streets fighting over Youngberg, like, I'm gonna scream. How many years ago was Hazel Lee in an imaginary relationship with Youngberg? How many years ago? Like 2011? Like what? 2012, 2013? This chick was in a relationship with Youngberg, and Masika Kalisha supposedly stole him from her. Like, if it's still about that, I swear to everything, I'm going to pull out my edges. I swear, I'm going to pull out my edges. They still are fighting over this little man. I'm going to pull out my edges. It's like, dude, neither one of y'all are dating him right now. Neither one of y'all are married to him. And neither one of y'all got kids by him. So what is the problem? It's like they try to sit down and have a conversation about it, but then as soon, cause I don't know if y'all seen um where they had where they made an appearance on Zeus on the special The Conversation. But as per usual, they can't have a conversation without Hazley popping off at the mouth. And she always wants to play victim. She was like, everybody's hating on me. And no, girl, ain't nobody hating on you. Ain't nobody hating on you. She's like, everybody's hating on me, and everybody's jealous of me. It's like, nobody's jealous of you, mamas. Nobody's hating on you. I mean, nobody's hating on you, Miss Mamas. Like, nobody's jealous of you. Jealous of what? The rap career you tried to start, but it didn't go nowhere? And she calls herself an OG, which is weird to me. What? I was ordering your food. You don't give me 2 seconds. All right, then why did you do that before? Anyways, it's like, and they're like, oh, like jealous of what career? What career does she have? Does someone try to start a rap career with the help of Young Berg, who hasn't had a hit since Sexy Can I? Or I can't even remember another Young Berg song. But anyways, it's like you're fighting over that, dude. And it's like what are they fighting about? But then again, Hazel Lee wasn't the only one that was in the wrong. Because Hazel was just like, what is your problem with me? What is your beef with me? It's like, sweetie, we know what your beef with her was. Your beef was with her because she was allegedly dating your boyfriend and she was supposed to be your friend. I mean, sweetie, when a dude is telling another chick that's not my girlfriend, you're in a relationship by yourself. Poor Hazel Lee was in a relationship by herself and on national television. I felt so bad for her. And poor baby, poor Miss Mamas was in a whole entire relationship by herself. Like, y'all was just smashing. And she getting into the fights, and she's like, how many weeks postpartum? Like, how many weeks has it been since you had that baby and you're trying to get into a fight? Like, girl, you're trying to injure yourself over someone who is going to who's going to clown you for the rest of your life. Masika Kalisha is going to clown Hazel Lee for the rest of her life. Like, she's going to drag out the nasal E jokes. It's like, girl, find something else to make fun of her about. Like, how many times you going to talk about this girl's nose? Like, how many times, how many different ways are you going to talk about this chick's nose? Like, every time you turn around, she's calling her nasal E, nasal he. Like, how many times are you going to call her drag queen? How many times are you going to talk about her nose? You could talk about the fact that she bleaches her skin. Because she wasn't that light. When we first saw her on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, she wasn't that light. She was like a caramel color. She was a really pretty caramel colored girl. Like a very like deep caramel color. Like now she doesn't look like she has any melanin at all. She looks like she's very devoid of melanin. Like watching those two fight is just getting old. I mean, how old is Masika Kalisha? Like, how old is Hazel exactly? I heard like when she was filming Love and Hip Hop, she was already in her 30s. So how long you gonna still fight this chick? And it just seems like Hazel's past it, sort of. Okay, let's talk about the City Girls. The City Girls are apparently beefing with Cardi B, saying that they're no longer Team Cardi and they want a feature from Nicki Minaj. I don't believe it. I don't believe it because Cardi showed them so much love when they first came out. They were like, she was posting everything they did. You know, she was going to bat for them. You know, she was going to war for the City Girls. Like every single time she thought the Shade Room was coming for them, she went to bat for them. And I don't see anything. I don't see those two fighting, but like apparently they are. So, anyways, but if they're fighting with Cardi B just to get a Nicki feature, that's not gonna happen. Nikki is not going to give these girls a feature. I mean, JT was doing a whole diss song of Nicki Minaj. So, I mean, you already seen how she treated little Nas X. He's so if they think, you know, jumping sides is going to help them, it's not because Nikki loves loyalty. Nikki loves people that are loyal, that are not just loyal to her, but loyal to like others. She doesn't. She might not be best friends with Cardi B, but the fact that City Girls are so willing to jump ship for a feature shows a lot. So, anyways, we're gonna talk about. I mean, who is here for a Cardi B? I mean, not Cardi B, but a City Girls and Nicki Minaj feature. I was here for the City Girls and Doja Cat feature. Okay, that pussy talk is still stuck in my head. This was, I don't even really, and I don't even know the lyrics for real, for real. This pussy talk. What's the lyrics of the song? This pussy talk dollars. It's again. This pussy talk down. I don't even know the lyrics of the songs. But who is here? But I don't. But who's here for a feature with City Girls and Nicki Minaj? I personally don't think it would sound good. I don't. Just like Carisha's voice with Nicki's voice, I don't think it would sound too good. Now another Doja and Nicki feature, I would be here for because their styles like complement each other so well. Alright, anyways, so what is there left to talk about? What's been going on? I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. What else? What else is there to talk about? What else? What else can we just sit back and sip about? Cause, mm, we can talk about Bella out here lurking on the gram for another baby mama, but as that's just always. I mean, this man will never settle down because he's looking. Because instead of looking for a woman that you know has good genuine qualities, he looks for quantity. He looks for the type of chick with the barely there waist, the big butt and the big boobs and the exotic face. Basically a fashionella model. And it's like, hasn't he learned his lesson with the last chick that he dated like that? And also he needs to date a chick that's his own height, because I think Kiyomi was bigger than him. It's like, get you a chick that's the same height as you and doesn't look like she could beat your ass. Because Kiyomi looked like she could beat his ass. Like, I saw him with Kiyomi and I was like, this is a mismatch. Like, for real, for real. Like, this is Kevin Hart and Nico Hart on a whole nother level. This is Kevin Hart and Whitney Williams and Think Like a Man. This is, what is it? This is him and Sierra. this is him and Sierra. Like, like, I know all my millennials saw the Like You video, and it just looked like Sierra could carry him in a baby stroller. It's like, sweetie, why are you dating a man that looks like you could just pick him up and just burp him? It's like, I mean, obviously we're in love and everything, but it's like, why are you going to date a man that looks like you could just pick him up and burp him? Or just pick him up and carry him on your hip? Like, I would never date a man that was small enough for me to carry him on my hip. And I'm 5'5". So that's gotta be a pretty small man. You gotta be at least, like, if you're shorter than me, you gotta be at least 5'2". You gotta be at least 5'4", 5'3", 5'2", and practically a little person. Like, you and the Lucky Charms leprechaun have to be the same size. Anyways. What? You are. And I'm just waiting for the tea on the whole Maya and Marcus Houston. I mean, I want to know the full story on the Marcus Houston Maya Houston situation, because for y'all those who don't know, Marcus and Maya got married. I know plenty people are like, well, weren't they already married? I mean, she goes by Maya Houston on Instagram. No, they were engaged. Some people do that cute little thing, or they go by, the person's last name, go by their fiance's last name, on Instagram or on social media, whatever. But yeah. Because people have been talking about how, she ran away from home at like 14, met Marcus Houston at 16, when she somehow ended up with Chris Stokes. Like, this whole situation just seems weird. And it's like, if her adoptive parents knew about this, because it's like, why weren't her parents at the wedding? It just seemed weird, because it just seemed like Marcus and Maya made it seem like Maya didn't have any family. Because in none of the wedding pictures they posted do you see family. You see the two of them. I mean, I know we in quarantine, but like they say you could have like up to 10 people in a room. So why wasn't her mother there? Why wasn't her father there? Like why wasn't the birth mom that she tried to go back to? Like why isn't she there? Like it just all seems weird. Like if her adopted family gave him to her, like gave her to him, like I that would just be sick. Like, I'd be sick to my stomach if it came out that those people gave Maya to Marcus. Because like you've seen it happen with the whole R. Kelly story of folks just giving their children to these celebrities, and it's like you don't know them. Just because you've watched them on television when you grew up, that doesn't mean you know these people. You may feel like you do, but you don't know them. You don't know who these people portray themselves on television and on Instagram and YouTube to be, but you don't know them personally. You're not friends with these people, you're not family with these people, and even their own family has like come out and said, well, I had no clue that they were into this type of stuff. Because they've kept secrets from their family. Like a lot of their family doesn't know the life they're living in Hollywood. I bet Chris Brown's family doesn't know half the stuff he's into. The drugs that he was allegedly doing. I know the fact that they probably know that he was arrested for, domestic violence because that was all over the news. But they probably don't know is the fact that Karrueche said that she was in an abusive relationship with Chris Brown. I mean, a documentary on all of, all of the black side of music history, the music industry might come out. Anyway, like, who knows? There might be a documentary about, about like the black music industry in the 90s and like the early 2000s about Chris Stokes and TUG, Bad Boy. You ain't gonna find nothing about So So Def because Jimmy Dupree treated his people pretty good. But you might find out about Young Money. What is going on in Young Money, Cash Money? It just seemed weird. It just seemed weird. And what you call and G Unit. There's just Young Money, Cash Money, Bad Boy, all that. It just seemed weird. And you already got artists from those labels coming out and talking about what happened. You had Brian Breeding from B5 talking about I think the 10th anniversary. I think it was like the 10th anniversary of their first album, talking about how Diddy never paid them. Then you had Carnell talking about how they were abused, financially by Bad Boy. And I want to know about Mary J. Blige. Like I said before, I want to know how Mary J. Blige has managed, out of everybody signed to Bad Boy, to keep her money. Out of Mace, out of 112, out of, Day 26, all the other groups, all the other artists that were signed to Bad Boy, how does she manage to keep her money? I just want. Oh, and Loon, what happened? Cause Loon ain't telling. Loon ain't telling nothing. Like I'm starting to wonder, like what type of contract did he have Loon under? Like why are these people going to prison for him? You had Kim that went to prison for him first. You had Shine that went to prison for him, and then you had Loon that went to prison for him. It's like what type of contract are these people signing where they're going to prison for the president of the record label? Oh, what else? Oh, what else do I want to know? What else is going on? What else do you see tea that needs to be spilled? Oh, yeah. Why is Chris Brown going Ike Turner on these girls? Like, why is Chris Brown beating up all his girlfriends? Like, I want to know what happened in his childhood. Like, why is he beating up all his girlfriends? Because Aiko seems like Aiko's mom is the only one that seems to be sticking around. They even might be married. I don't even know. Okay, moving right along. Okay, let's talk about Netflix is bringing back all my favorite shows. Netflix is bringing back Girlfriends. Netflix is bringing back Moesha. Netflix is bringing back One on One, Half and Half. Like all my entire childhood is going to be on Netflix. I'm excited. I am excited. Even though I don't have Netflix, but now I want to get Netflix. Okay, shout out to Strong Black Mind for bringing some diversity to Netflix. Okay, I'm gonna subscribe to Netflix. When I get my money stacked up right, I'm gonna subscribe to Netflix and just be chilling on my days off, watching some Girlfriends, watching some Half and Half, watching some One on One. I get to see my girls again. I get to see Joan. I get to see Lynn, Maya, and Tony. And my boy William, Big Willie. Big Willie's in the house. AKA William Den. William's coming back. I am so happy. I'm so happy. I don't know why I'm happy though, because I don't even have Netflix. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get Netflix now. Because Netflix looked kind of boring. Like, I would see trailers for things on Netflix. I'm like, I see what folks are talking about Netflix being lame. But anyway, shout out to it's called Strong Black Lead. Strong Black Lead. Shout outs to them for bringing diversity to Netflix because they desperately needed it. Shout out to Tracy Ellis Ross for still looking like a snack. Lisa Marie, my, my girl Jill Marie Jones, looking like a snack. My girl Priscilla White is looking like a snack. All my girls is looking like snacks. All my girls is looking like snacks. They need to do a reboot of Girlfriends because all the cast still looks the same. Joan still looks like she in her 30s. Tony still looks like she in her 30s. Maya still looks like she in her 30s. And Priscilla looks like she's still in her 30s. So we could pick up right from and Reggie still looks like he's in his 30s too. So we could pick up right where we left off before they stupidly canceled Girlfriends. As you can tell, I'm obsessed. I am so freaking ready for a new season of Girls. Well, not a new season, but they need to do a new season, a reboot, new season, something. Like, there's something that needs to happen. That, oh my goodness! Now that I mentioned Usher, hey Daddy's playing in my hair. Hey, hey, hey Daddy. Hey, hey, hey. Like, what is it? It's now that I got you. No, it's let me have your attention. Hey, I'm really trying to be all up and get hey. Cause what you got, I wanna get some. That's what you got on your skin. Why don't YouTube let us play music? I know y'all want to hear the actual song and rather than having me sing it. I know it sounds better. Trust me. I got you right, son. Hey, guess what? I got nothing to be scared. And I won't ring no bells. He's both the final in the end. I'll get you hot. I know you're up somewhere. When I walked in, all that I wanna hear is you say, "Daddy's home, home from that." I know it sounds good, huh? No, it doesn't. And I won't ring no bell. So really, Usher, you just gonna break into the girl's house? Usher, Usher, baby. I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go watch the Monica versus Brandy versus. Cause I never seen this one. So I'm gonna holla at you later. Peace.